Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Empowered with Gina. So we're here at ZA Ranch in Louisiana doing our podcast bi-coastal now. And my second guest ever in the Louisiana location is Miss Angelle from Dashing Darlin. That's her handle on Instagram. And I just recently met Angelle, like 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
2 or 3 weeks ago
yeah.
at a beautiful retreat hosted by Hot Off the Rack. And I sat next to you at dinner and I, first of all, stunning. I just kept looking at her and I'm like, how do your eyes look like that? How do you look like that? You know, because I fangirl over her. And so we just started talking and she gave me the backstory of her success as a content creator and the high-low fashion empire that she's creating. And I said, girl, you need to be on my podcast. So
Yes.
Angelle, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So I always start by asking my guests to give me 3 adjectives, any of them that describe you.
Okay. So definitely would go with free spirit.
Okay.
I'm a type 7 on the Enneagram. So free spirit, tender-hearted, and passionate.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. And I know right before we started filming, we said, should we talk about our age? Because I know we aligned very much on leaning into age, embracing it. And so how old are you?
Yes. So I'm going to be 45 in December. I'm a 1978 baby.
Hello. And I'm 43, 1980s. And we are doing very fine. So but it's a choice. And we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
So, okay. Content creator. Before that, the story is so intriguing to me.
Okay.
You weren't always social media, like I'm going to be a social media influencer. I'm going to do this.
No.
Tell me where this started, how it started.
Okay. So I know I gave you some backstory. I'll tell you from the beginning. So I was a stay-at-home mom. I had retired from being a teacher and a coach. And I lost my oldest sister. I think I told you this.
Yes.
Okay. So I lost my oldest sister when I was like 6 months pregnant for my third child. And she had taught me how to make jewelry. So after her passing, I had went through a series of like finding healing and just learning to embrace this new season and this new like pain that our whole family was going through. And so out of like celebration for her, I needed a little side gig to make a little extra money, and babysitting at home was not it for me. So she had taught me how to make jewelry. And so I decided to, in memory of her, open up an Etsy shop and start making jewelry and trying to get it sold like in boutiques. So that's how I began this journey.
And so you have no jewelry making background?
None. So it was just us going to this bead shop in downtown Ponchatoula and buying all of our beads. It was really like a fun thing we would do as a family. All the girls would go find beads. And so I continued to do it on my own, and I started creating jewelry, and it was a lot of fun. So
What year was this?
This was in 2014 when I did my Etsy shop. I had a few friends that hosted parties for me, and I started like sending my jewelry to bloggers and letting them style it. So I literally was the other person. I wasn't a blogger pretty much yet, and so or influencer. And then I realized like, I love fashion too. Let me style my pieces. And that's how it began. Like I started
Etsy
styling. Still on Etsy. And about a year after that, I was like, oh my goodness, brands are paying me to style their pieces. So that's 2015.
So in a year?
In a year, I realized I'm not doing jewelry no more. I'm going to launch out and just become a full-time like influencer, no longer making jewelry. Because it was a headache having to keep up with making stuff and sending it to be, yes. And
wow. So in a year, based off just these beaded little braids, like what we think the beaded bracelets?
Do you remember like the horn necklaces and the big chunky turquoise stuff and like the rosary beads kind of necklaces? It was all that.
Okay. So a year is very quick.
It was very quick.
I didn't realize no business strategy, no planning, no.
I'm a free spirit.
So no financial forecast. No, you weren't, I want to make this thing grow. It has to grow. You just had no idea what was going to happen.
No idea. Oh my God. No idea. And so it began like that, like me just starting to work for small little brands, mostly boutiques or just like self-made moms that wanted me just to style their pieces. That's how it began. And they'd pay me $50. They'd pay me $100. Like that's how it began. And I loved it. Like I couldn't believe like I'm getting paid for this. You know, like I can just do this now. I don't have to go back to teaching. And I could still be at home with my kids, raising them before they were like off in school.
And how many kids do you have?
I have 4.
Okay. And all boys. No, a
3
girl.
boys, 1 girl.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
And they were
So
young at this age.
busy.
Very busy.
Okay, so a lot of people, a lot of my platform is about empowerment and no excuses. And so you literally have 4 kids you're raising through
Yes.
mourning.
Yes.
And within a year, a business that came out of nowhere
Right.
is exploding.
Exploded. Like, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm talking, I started from like nothing. And my husband is a Dave Ramsey fanatic. And so he's a budget guy.
Okay.
He's all about no debt.
Yes.
So when we first started, he had to give me a budget when I first started my blog, taking pictures. I had to pay a photographer. And so I exchanged my jewelry with a photographer so I wouldn't have to pay her. Like, we would exchange because I only had, he gave me like $50 to $100 a month for clothing. So I was living like on, the bare minimum. And then
so you grew without significant investment as well.
No. So it was like, it's a miracle. And I still get like, I'm blown away by just the opportunities and the doors that began to open just by me being faithful with a little bit and making sure it worked. And like me never losing sight or like thinking I had to have that newest Louis Vuitton to make it work or that newest this. Like, I just made it work with the budget I had. And from there, I remember purchasing like my first Gucci on my own. I remember purchasing like, so from that business, like I did have like little small things that I wanted to see myself and bless myself with at one point when I met goals. So eventually I had a few goals.
Sure.
So,
okay. So then how do you pivot from bead making jewelry to fashion?
So it was pretty much, back in the day, Instagram was totally different. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all were aware of that. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, it was like daily outfits. And so I was sharing this at the retreat. Like, it was outfit selfies. You would hold the phone up and flip it and like take an outfit selfie. So it wasn't a mirror selfie yet. It was like an like you would flip the phone and you would like, no face was in it.
Just your outfit.
So daily outfit inspo.
From your camera?
From my phone. From my phone. Just daily. Like, that was every day. And there was like outfit challenges. So it was like a bunch of teachers and moms of just like, share your daily outfit. And we'd have a theme for the whole month.
You would do a call to action?
So I didn't call it. A friend of mine out of Canada did. Yes. And so there was just like all these mom groups that I became a part of. And like, I built a community on Instagram. And that kind of grew from there. Like, just practical, easy daily outfits was always my thing from the beginning.
And affordable.
Affordable.
But didn't look frumpy and like... because people think affordable, reasonably priced. And, I've always thought like, well, they can't be fashion, there can't be style. But you prove that wrong.
Oh my gosh!
On your page every single day. So much so that you've inspired me because I know, where's this outfit from?
This is from Walmart.
So is mine.
I know. Look,
and I wore it inspired by you. And I have to tell you, like, I've always learned, and I've learned to love the high-low fashion, but now because of you, really, I'm leaning in. And I'm like, this is it. Now it's like a challenge for me. Like, how many gorgeous pieces can I find from Walmart, Amazon, Target? I mean, Target's even,
Target's a little higher up. It's so true. Walmart is killing it. They really are. It's
and
crazy.
You're an amazing soldier and a brand ambassador for them because your lifestyle, the way you wear it, and you empower the style and the outfit. And I think it really, your page communicates, I don't care what money you have or don't have. You can always look put together.
Totally. I'm talking if you just can only spend $30 that month for one set, you can style that set so many different ways.
So Walmart, you now are really a brand ambassador for them.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because that's so cool.
I feel like, I can't remember when it was, maybe like 3 years ago, they launched the Scoop line. I don't know if you're familiar with the Scoop line.
Totally am.
And then the Sophia style, like her jeans. So I remember when I first got my first pair of Sophia jeans, I think it was actually during COVID. I worked with Walmart in the Sophia, I can't say her last name. You probably can.
Well, Vergara.
Yeah.
Or Vergara.
There you go. I worked with them during that and I was sold. I was like, these are the best jeans ever. And they're like under $25.
Jesus. And they're comfortable.
So comfortable. The best denim. And so I think that was like the first time during COVID was when I really consistently worked with them. And since then,
how did you work with them? Like, how did they reach out to you? Where did that conversation come from?
I would say I've always worked through Walmart through LTK.
Okay.
So like to know it. Okay. Through that platform,
How did you get connected with them? Let's take it back.
So let's
I want to understand how this happened.
So if you're not familiar with LTK, you are.
Yes.
Like to know it is a brand. I mean, it's a platform where you link everything that you purchase through it, and people can you send them a link and they can purchase it through your link, and I make a commission. So it's a great incentive to linking to certain brands. And so LTK started launching collaborations quite a few years ago, where they partner with specific influencers who they can tell bring in traffic for those brands, and they will reach out to you to personally collaborate and pay you separately from the links. So that's probably 2019 was my first Walmart collaboration through LTK, and there's
no money up front. It's just like if you sell, we give you a commission, or how does that work?
There's no money up front when you link through LTK.
Okay,
but your whole idea is to show the newest, latest, greatest finds, so that way you do make a commission. And when Walmart sees that you're making a great commission, sales for them, they will reach out and say, we want to personally now collaborate with you, and this is what our rate is. So then they pay you on top of what you already make through links. It's really incredible. It's an amazing, astounding platform. The creator of it, she is the most intelligent woman, and they're so good with partnering you with the right people. So I am always partnered with budget-friendly brands.
Okay.
Because they know that's my audience.
Sure.
So
what other brands are you partnered with currently?
So I work with Target a lot too. I work with smaller brands within Amazon. So Amazon doesn't really personally work with you, but maybe they do. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But I personally work with brands on their within their website. So that's a really cool thing. Like that's been going on for almost a year. I used to work with JCPenney very often. Yeah. People at the LTK conference were like, you're like the face of JCPenney. Because they're budget friendly and they're for the whole family. And I had like almost a 2-year contract with them. Amazing. And it just ended. So anyway, but definitely Walmart and Target are consistently there.
Sure. And they are the places to be. So.
Totally. Totally.
I know that. Okay. And then here you are now.
Yes.
So here you are. What does the future look like? Now, knowing what you know, you have skin in the game, you are an expert now. What do you see as far as social media, as far as a professional brand platform for you?
Right.
And what are your thoughts on that, the future for you?
So being an older influencer, I laugh. I'm always the token old lady in the group.
But like really not.
I do not get insecure about that
not
at
all. Who cares?
But I do feel like my audience has grown with me, and I love it. They've been with me since my kids were little, and they love to celebrate the family aspect. That is like my most shared, saved is like my family post. So I know that is a big part of what I've created as a brand. So I think in the future, like I would love to move into, always fashion is going to be part of what I have. I feel like it's great to show like women as we age that you can still look amazing, still do skincare, still wear makeup, do your hair. Like you don't have to look frumpy and grandma-ish. You don't have to do that.
And we never will.
No. But I think that as I get older, like I love event planning. I love home decor. I love showing that it can be affordable too. I used to do a lot of DIY inside the house, but it's just something fun and therapeutic for me.
Sure.
I've done a few weddings, event planning for weddings, and so that's been fun. So I think in the future, I would love to eventually move into that form of influencing.
And continuing fashion.
Always having fashion there, always. My kids are getting older, so eventually the family aspect of it, I won't probably collab with as many family-ran businesses. But I'm excited about the future. One day I want to own a beach home on 30A. So
and you will.
That is a future of like I would love to host things there. I would love
Where is that, by the way, for people who don't know?
Oh.
Because I don't know where that is.
You don't know where 30A is?
No.
Stop.
Oh Girl, I didn't even know where Covington was.
Okay, so
30A
is just a highway, a strip in Florida. And it is like magical. It's like my favorite place on the earth. Wow. You've heard of Rosemary Beach and Seaside and You've had to. You've seen pictures, or you've had. I guess the people in the South.
Beaches?
Yes.
I've seen pictures of white beaches in Florida. I just don't know the names.
So it is like Alice Beach. You would like buy a house tomorrow in Alice Beach if you go to it. Like you would die. It is like the sweetest. Like everyone just rides around on bicycles or golf carts. Like no one gets in their car. If not, you're going to be stuck in traffic. But it is like a little strip of heaven over there. So many influencers have moved over there.
Really?
Yes. Y'all have to go there. The kids would love it too.
Okay, we will.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
Okay, so that's going to be coming up. She will absolutely own
Yes.
probably multiple houses there, knowing you. So let's talk about, you just said, and I want to talk about ageism. It's so important. And it's, fortunately, I think culture is now more accepting of it. And we're in a place where we're embracing the age. Like, look, aging is a privilege.
I agree.
And we're not being shunned anymore, especially women who age. Dun, dun, dun. It's like, stop.
Right.
Look at us. Okay.
Yes.
Like, we are women who are aging in our 40s. And the word aging is fine.
Yes.
Like, lean into it, embrace
Totally.
it, redefine it. So for people watching this and who follow you, what advice do you have for them if they're like, yeah, but you don't understand. I don't have the background you have. I don't have this. I don't have the platform. I'm too shy. I don't have family support. I need to lose weight. I don't look like you.
Right.
What do you tell those people?
So I was thinking about this on the way here if you did bring up this question.
See, we didn't think alike.
Yes. So I will say in my 20s, if you would have met me, I was so insecure and shy and an introvert.
What?
Totally. Like, I'm telling you, having my first child, I was 27 when I had her. I was like, I will not raise a child to be like I am. I do not want my daughter to be faced in this world with so many insecurities that she can't go and be confident and know who she is into the world. So I began a journey of like self-reflecting. Like, I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought that my body wasn't good enough. I thought everything down to the freckles on my face I disliked. No. And I do have freckles somewhere in here. There was so much self-hate in my 20s that it really pushed me when I had her to really dig deep and begin to love who I am. So I will say, like, that was a stumbling block. It really had a ripple effect in every area of my life. It caused me to really distrust friends. Like, I always thought maybe they're judging me. I'm not this, I'm not that. Like, friendship was really hard for me. And I would then let it spill into my marriage and, the comparison game 100%. And all of it.
And now with social media, people are comparing themselves, like looking at your life, my life, others' life.
It's a horrible thing to live, but I will say that for every negative thought, I had to train myself to replace it with something that was truth and something that was positive about myself. And that began the journey. Like, I did a lot of journaling, a lot of self-reflecting, did inventory on my thoughts, did inventory on how I treated myself. And I really began to try to find a place where I had so much self-love that it overflowed into other people. And it really, I'm telling you, by the time I was 30, I was a different person. Like, I began to love people, began to be an extrovert. I didn't care if you accepted me or you didn't. I embraced mommy body because that was like all my years of having babies after babies after babies. And it didn't matter no more. Like, I started not judging myself based on what I thought I should be able to present to people. So I feel like no matter what age you are, you have to do inventory on your thoughts and begin to replace those negative self-hating thoughts with truth that is loving and kind. Easy? No. It's a daily thing where every morning I had to wake up and be like, Angelle, no ma'am. No. You're not going to think that.
Not today.
It's okay if this happened or if you have this big zit right here, or down to the silliest of things that really trap women from really growing and flourishing. And so I feel like that happens at every age. I've been around women in their 70s and their 80s that are still struggling with this. So I'm like, no. You have the power to change this. I have the power to change this about myself. And I feel like when I did this, that humble confidence that began to take over me began to have a ripple effect in a positive way now. So I feel like it's at every age you have to learn how to do this.
Absolutely.
Like, you're never too old to not learn how to reprogram your mind and your thoughts about yourself and learn how to love all of you. So that's what I do love about social media now, is there's a lot of like plus size influencers and girls that don't look like your typical influencer or model. And they're kind of like just changing the whole outlook.
Totally.
And I do love that aspect because I feel like it's teaching the younger girls to learn how to love themselves at a younger age. So that way, maybe when they're older, they won't be struggling with the same self-hate that they once did. So aging is beautiful, but I do think that embracing all of you and going after self-love is huge. Like, just learning to love all of you despite perfectionism. Like, I don't strive for perfectionism.
Right.
I go for being all of me, 100% true myself. Like, walking in a room and me setting the tone.
Yeah.
Not letting others try to set the tone for me.
Absolutely. And I can feel that from you. Like you're super secure. And I know that requires a lot of work
Yes.
to feel secure. Having a platform that you have with social media, because you have all the trolls and the haters and this, that can, I'm sure, if you aren't in that right mindset.
Totally. I don't know how you're an influencer and you battle really bad with insecurity. Like it's a hard game. It's a hard world.
It's less the comment. It's more what you do with that comment to yourself. And it's terrible.
Yes.
Unless you are intentional and you're really working on yourself every day.
Right.
Okay. So we could talk forever because you're so smart and I love it. Before we go, if people want to get into social media and branding and kind of take the path that you're taking, what advice would you have for them if they're maybe on the just starting off levels?
So, you got to give yourself grace. I will say that it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. You can pitch to brands and get 1,000 no's, and then you may have one yes that responds to you. So I will say, like, you had to just be consistent with what you love and what you're passionate about, and post in daily, post in weekly, whatever it is, but not comparing yourself to other people and wanting their success when you're just beginning is a big part of it. And just knowing that it may take a few years to get where they're at. It may take longer, but being true to yourself and setting small goals that are attainable.
Right.
I feel like some girls go into this and they think, I want to be making this much a month, or I want these big brands. I want to work with Nordstrom. When you aren't posting enough, and these brands require and expect a lot out of you. So it's like sticking true to yourself and knowing that having small goals that are achievable.
Yes.
So that way you won't feel defeated, but just going for it. Like every day saying yes, what inspires me, and let me share what inspires me with other people. And brands will eventually see that. Like, I think that they will see that you're true to yourself. You're not trying to mimic other people.
Right.
Because I do feel like that is a big thing. Like when people aren't true to themselves, brands can kind of see that.
Right.
Or agencies can see that.
Sure.
And they want people that stick out and that aren't just like cookie cutter like everybody else.
Right.
Because that's what I think. People see somebody else be successful and they're like, let me do what they're doing.
No, but you can't.
You have to be true to yourself and share what is you. So if it's affordable fashion, go for it. If it's you. If it's motherhood, go for it. That's you. And so letting people in to a part of you that's not fake or a facade and just being true to that. And I think that from there, you will see the success and the growth in time.
Perfect. Okay, well, I appreciate you being here. How can people find you and support you on LTK or what? I want to make sure you get all the followers.
So I am on LTK, Facebook. I have a blog that I do post stuff on. Dashing_Darlin is my actual handle.
We'll put it in the comments.
Okay. It's pretty much Dashing_Darlin on everything, even TikTok. So I kept it the same on all of it. And
good. Easier to find you.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Of course.
We will see each other next Friday in Los Angeles.
She's
going to come to see me in the other LA, and we're going to go see Mariah Carey's Christmas tour at the Hollywood Bowl.
Can't wait. Yes.
Let's talk outfits.
Yes,
okay.
I know.
Bye, everyone.